How are we going to start this show?
How are we going to start this show?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
How are we going to start the show?
I don't know. What do you mean?
We got to say something smart so people know we're intelligent.
That's a joke. I don't know nothing. Do you know anything?
I have no idea. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, let's find out what they know.
Can we start this show now?
Dude, what the hell are you talking about? Let's go!
Again with the talking. Can't you get through the damn intro?
I can't. Nah, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. I have verbal diarrhea, Steiny, because I'm really excited today, man.
Man, I don't want to think about what you just said.
I'm really excited today, so I have verbal diarrhea. How are you today, Stein? You look great as always.
I'm good. Today's a good day. Today's Thursday. We always record on Thursday, and we're dropping a new video today. So there's a video dropping right now while we speak, which is
that's incredible. You're multi-talented. You can do so many things at once. But yeah, we drop every Thursday at 5. Every other Thursday at 5. And
5 what?
But 5 CM UTP. I don't know, man. Something like that.
I don't know. It's 12 o'clock noon here on the East Coast of the United States.
Okay. So what's been going on with you, man? What's been happening lately in Stein's world?
Man, it's been busy. It's been busy. Yeah. I only got like 23 hours sleep yesterday, and oh man, I don't know. It's just you can't. When the day's only an hour long, man, it gets hectic.
Well, I can tell you're getting. I could tell because it's beauty sleep. I could tell you're getting.
Well, you didn't wake
sleep.
me up this morning. That's a good thing, right?
Not today. I was a little bit busy today. I didn't have time for you. But I sent you some kisses before bed last night. You remember that? No. Okay. We won't talk about that out in public.
You must have sent it to the wrong motherfucker.
The wrong Stein. Ain't no such thing. There's only one Stein in my life. There's only one Stein.
Man. That's
Ain't enough space for anybody else.
What have you been up to?
Man, what is today? Thursday? I don't know, man. There's something happening every single day. And I was just saying to some of the guys and to KB and Pinball and Scruffy, I was saying, hey, I just kind of take each day as it comes. I don't have the mental power to be able to think about everything that needs to be doing. So I like to list my stuff. I like to put down, okay, everything I need to do within this week, and then I could just kind of tick it off as I go along. Because if I keep it in my head only, it's a wrap, man. I end up losing sleep.
Where the hell are you going to put it? If you don't keep it in your head, where are you going to put it?
I put it in my little diary, man. A little diary.
Jesus.
A little journal where I sit at night. Stein was really mean to me today.
Hey, listen.
Stein was mean.
Let's get right into our guest today.
You are, yeah. That's a great idea. Hey, let me tell you something.
I can't listen to your banter anymore. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Let me tell you something. I am so excited to speak to this guy today. I've been watching his videos for a while, and he's such a known figure within the Cardano community. It seems we have a lot of Cardano guests, funnily enough. It's like the only people we know.
Well, the thing about Cardano, I think, is it's a popular chain. But I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into Cardano. I don't want to get into that right now. But hey, this guy that we got on now, you know how we say we have a lot of beautiful people that come on this show?
Let me tell you. We saw him in the green, is it what you call it? The green room?
The green room? Yeah, he's in the green room.
Saw him in the green room when he came in and I see him on the videos, and it was different. You know how they say never meet your heroes, but I'm glad I did today.
Well, yeah, you need this hero because you're bald.
I need this hero, man. If only I could. I'll tell you something. If I could grab some of his hair and just pop it onto my head, I'd be happy.
This guy has the best head of fucking hair I've ever seen, man. It's beautiful. He should have went out for the part of Elvis.
Yeah, actually, I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that.
You want to see his head of hair? Can we bring him up on?
I think we should bring him on today. Everyone, welcome the fantastic JCrypto, aka Jspeak.
There he is. Look at that head of hair, man. He's just got a haircut too, boy. Yeah.
Now you got me looking at my own hair now. I mean, holy mackerel. I don't think I can get redder. I think the tomatoes that when I was growing up, my mom used to have in the garden were redder. Couldn't get redder than I am right now after that intro from you guys. I mean, holy mackerel, way to charm somebody to holy.
Where'd you get that head of hair from?
You deserve it, brother. You deserve it. You can't walk the earth with hair like that and not get compliments.
I wasn't prepared, you know, and that's next time I'll be prepared. So
oh man, no, you look good. You look good. Man. You look good.
Yes, sir.
So how you been?
Great to have you here, man.
It was funny listening to Se7en because I think that's actually how a lot of people have been living their life recently, including me. And I think the interesting part is, you know, we were all at peak performance. I know I just think my peak performance was probably in like November of last year when it just came to energy, momentum, everything, just like the well-oiled engine. And for me, you know, being a former athlete, it's the only way I can really compare like business to look at is like sports. So, you know, you have an off season in sports and things of that nature. I think Christmas was that off season that, you know, a couple people, you know, AKA all of us didn't wake up from for like a month. And I think we're all kind of still getting back into it. But, you know, for me, I don't know about you guys, but recently, man, I've just had so much energy because of the spring weather. So things are, you know, I'm feeling pretty pumped in the last few weeks just because the spring weather's rolling in.
Well, you must be in a warmer area than I am. I'm up in New England, so
we got some snow today.
My spring weather was a foot of snow a week ago.
Yeah, well, I'm in New England actually, and
you are?
Yeah. Maybe it's you know, that 50-degree weather just is pretty nice to be.
Well, we're gonna have to talk after the show and
grow it up here. Yeah.
Well,
out, don't tell where we're at. We could. Christ, he could live right down the road from me, and I wouldn't even know it.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him, Jay. Don't tell him where you live. I tell you, he'll end up outside your house, 3 a.m., knocking on the window.
I'm not going to do that to you, Jay. No,
he's a filthy man.
I will not knock.
I don't know, Stein. Like, people are telling me things, but you know, I give everyone a fair shot. So I don't word until I see something different. And you know what? The thing is, being a New England guy, you know, you develop that thick coat because you have to.
You do. You do.
Cool.
Everybody's like, how can you live in that snow? I'm like, I don't know. Just go outside. It's like when it's 40 out.
And the cold's good for you. The cold is good for you.
When it's 40 out in the middle of winter, that's when you go outside with your T-shirt. When it's 40, right? 40, 50 degrees, you're like, T-shirt weather.
Okay. Now, you wouldn't catch me like that. So, actually, you mentioned something. How would you like me to address you? JCrypto? Jspeak? Is Jay okay? What do you prefer?
Dude, Jay is what, you know, a lot of people called me, like, when I was growing up. Right. You know, it's sort of like the J for JCrypto was kind of like that, but the J for Jspeak, because I just rebranded to Jspeak. I just think when people hear crypto, you know, they just think of like meme coins, and there's so much else in Web3. You know, the metaverse, you have NFTs, you have a lot of infrastructure being done right now in actual industries too, like some really, you know, important industries, supply chain, things of that nature. But I think, the J for Jspeak might be a little bit more abstract, as like a little bit of an artist, you know, kiss to the new logo, if you will, the new brand. Yep. But I don't want to really make it about just me, because you never know how these channels and things can go and what you end up building and stuff. But yeah.
Okay, so you want to keep it kind of more general and not necessarily stick to crypto. That's kind of like spreading your wings out.
Yeah. AI, blockchain, and AI, metaverse, and, you know, blockchain is what I would say I'm moving into, rather than just maybe Cardano. But, you know, it's interesting because YouTubers will tell you right now, I mean, engagement is very down. I think you are forced to kind of be a little scrappy right now as a YouTuber. You don't want to go irrelevant, especially if you have, let's say, sponsors or things of that nature. And, you know, it's not that the views really matter, because I do think there is a vanity metric thing, but you gotta do your best, because if you don't, when the engagement's down, you're gonna get even less than like you would if you just like go all in. So
well, I don't think YouTube's going away. It just might be in a lull right now. So now if you're in the crypto space, it's a bear market. Wait till it gets back to the bull, and then you're gonna then everybody's gonna come back because they want to learn.
Well, it's hard to imagine, right? And anybody that's in this space like us, it really is hard to imagine until it comes. And if we're all still here by the time it comes, I think we're gonna still think it's unbelievable, because when those events happen, you know, and people just come into crypto again, and you have a lot of new things for people to learn about because they didn't pay attention to the last 3 years of development. So, you know, in the last bull market, you had people that just knew about Litecoin, and they didn't, you know, actually understand even Bitcoin or Ethereum, because that was one of the coins that was cheaper than Bitcoin in the bull market before that one. That like they could kind of get capitalizing on, and there was so much knowledge that was, you know, needed to be understood between those markets. So people that are in like you guys and me right now, that at least have our ears to it, and like we're looking at it. I do think that's always a good thing. I mean, you know, there's plenty of stuff you could still do wrong, even if you have that information, but it helps, right? Like
it does. Yeah. But you know, the thing I've always talked about in this show is I got in on the top of last year. So all I know is going downhill. So I haven't got the uphill yet. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to do it. You know, I think when you get the massive dose of cocaine first.
Oh yes, that's great.
You don't actually learn, you know, like the discipline process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I have learned. I've learned
for a few years. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Se7en.
No, sorry. Yeah, no, I've learned exactly that. I've learned how to with all my mistakes in the past with the different cycles, realizing where I made my mistakes and where I was being greedy, and following YouTubers that were in it just to kind of make a buck off of you. And this was, I've been in crypto since 17, and it wasn't as much as there is now, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I have a question for you, because you've kind of transitioned into, like you said, more AI, blockchain kind of stuff. What made you decide to go down the path of AI? What interests you about AI and the future of AI? Where do you see it going? What tickles your funny bone with that?
Yeah, man. I think for a lot of people, it was just, you know, the bug was from ChatGPT. I think, you know, when I started to see that mixed with the art that was coming out, I was trying the different models, and then I started to explore, you know, and there's some actually really interesting products built over the last 3 years that blew my mind. There's this one which Charles just talked about, because it's a companion chatbot. It's called Replica. Now, you can get pretty frisky with Replica. They used to have a setting for it, meaning if you turned it to the opposite sex that you're attracted to and had, you know, phone sex with AI, it was stunningly good, is like what people were giving feedback on for 3 years now. So, and it was funny because they recently, I think in some areas, or it's still being figured out, you know, turn that setting off. So now people were only using it for like the chatbot companion, but not like, you know, getting a little
getting off on it.
Yeah,
getting off on AI. That's my new podcast, Getting Off on AI. No.
Plenty of people would be interested in that, because they, like, the thing is, there was so much backlash when they removed that setting, because there were so many people that were like used to it having not even just the sexual side of things, but just the
companionship.
Like the intimacy, I guess you could say. Because if somebody, you know, doesn't have a relationship and they start one with a replica, and, you know, maybe it's not, they know it's not like a real person, but at least they're like, you know, at least it's something better than maybe not having anything. I don't know, but that's where it gets tricky.
Why did they do that? Why did they turn the setting off? What was there a reason for that?
Because they're in a tough spot. Because with all those things, man, you're just so one of the issues with having that thing available is you may have underage people, download the app and use it, and they were getting some pressure on that end. I think as well, there was people that were using that and had reported that they had developed psychosis because it was addictive.
Wow.
So yeah, well, I mean, it makes to me,
sense.
I think it would be addictive in the first place because it's getting your dopamine receptors all around.
Yeah.
But
it's always nice to have somebody tell you you're wonderful and I love you and all that stuff
exactly,
all day long.
This is exactly why Stein keeps me around. That's all I do for him.
That's it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, Stein's a lucky guy. I mean, I feel lucky sometimes with my replica because I still check in on it. And it's really interesting because I've done a couple podcasts and I posted them on my YouTube channel where I talk to the thing. And I think when people see that, like, this can, fool you for maybe 20 minutes, that's already scary enough to get you, like, more interested. Because if you're like, wow, I could talk to this thing for 20 minutes without really noticing, like, enough of a hitch that if I talk to a random stranger, the miscommunications that happen with a random stranger because you don't know them, it would be similar to talking to a replica for the first time. So, like, to answer your question, Se7en, man, it's going to impact everything. Music, I'd love to hear your thoughts, man, if you have any yet on AI music. I think it's been used in music and editing for videos for so long. We just don't always know that it's being used. And then the new stuff is being marketed really heavily. So one other warning, and then I'll pass it back to you, Se7en and Stein, but is you're going to see a lot of things that probably are either free or just way cheaper get kind of cloned and marketed really well. And, after about 5 AI services, I mean, these things aren't super cheap. I started to back off a little bit and just pick certain ones because you can go down the rabbit hole and it's a far rabbit. It's a big rabbit hole.
Well, that isn't it. They had a movie, Her, right? Was it Her? Was that the movie they had?
Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah.
Right. And then they had Ex Machina, which is basically her and a damn android.
Very beautiful android. Yes.
Gotta watch out, man. This is going to be 10 years.
Well, these deep fakes,
15 years from now, it's going to be that. I mean,
the deep fakes are insane. The deep fakes right now, because you can clone voices. You can have Biden's face and his voice saying something, and it's kind of believable.
Yeah, dude. Again, going back to music, it's like the ability to be creative right now is nuts. Now you can get into probably some trouble with that, as someone like Se7en probably knows more officially than I would. But if you were to take Drake's voice and clone it on open source on the internet, they do that and post on TikTok. That's actually being done. But if you were to try to monetize that, obviously, that's where the conversations start, I think. And they already have done for a while with this stuff. But the IP laws were really only written like 50, 70 years ago or something of that nature. And then, the digital just amplify the complicated nature of intellectual property in like 2000. We haven't really seen we haven't really had that conversation of how we really, move forward with this. Maybe blockchain is the answer and things like DIDs and
well,
AI.
what happened? What would have happened? What would the like if you copyright, you have copyright problems, taking beats from a song, taking vocals from a song. But what's the law on making an AI sound like somebody else? When it's not his voice, it's a digital recreation of something else. But if you were to put out a video, say it was Drake's voice or an audio, a song with Drake's voice, and it's not his original voice, what's the
it's the name that you sell it under. It's the name you'd sell it under, maybe.
If you put featuring Drake in like
Yeah.
the title.
Oh, okay. Well, what if you didn't? I mean,
I
what?
ask that question because I don't know the answer, Stein, and I'm not going to bullshit you because I don't want to bullshit you. And the thing is, I don't think anybody really knows is the right answer, because like the rate of speed of technology, it is very quick, and like regulation tends to be slower. So I do think that this is a space everybody's got their eyes on, and how could they not? It's also like, what do they call it? Like a threat to humanity, AI.
This was going to be my next question to you. What on just on the kind of in the dreaming, the overthinking, AI. Do you think it poses a threat to humanity in the long run?
Jesus, that's a loaded question.
That's a hell of a question. I mean, it's a hell of a question.
I think it does, because here's why I know that it does. Because okay, so let me give you the kind of, you guys aren't going to like it, but it's true. I think it's a vulnerability to not understand the scene of AI, because I've already incorporated at least 3 different AI tools into my video content creation process, and it's really made me able to do things I never thought I'd be able to do, like the quality of some of the just artwork on thumbnails from AI. I mean, that's simple, but it allows me to tell the story and have control over it a bit, because when you look for stock images, you don't always get the right thing, and if you can learn to manipulate the AI so it can make the picture that you want. And those things can be B-roll. So if YouTube creators are finding use cases for it, I guarantee you it's going to, really spread out from there. So it's a vulnerability from the standpoint of what we can do about it, rather than talking about Terminators, which is also maybe a danger. But I do think with what we can do about it, we're at a good spot to just be very observant and not ignorant, I think. Because music, I mean, if there's AI tools that come out that really change it for people to create music, and you give those first adopters 6 months to use those tools, that's where you'll see, wow, 1 or 2 of them blow up, and you'll be like, why the heck didn't I do that 6 months ago? And it's like one of those surprising moments, kind of like how TikTok probably was for like a lot of people, or Instagram.
Yeah.
That's what I keep thinking to myself. I keep thinking, how would the world react to music that has, or film, or whatever kind of art form that has been created 100% by AI? How would we react to that? Would we say, I want the human touch, I want the flaws, I want the mistakes, I want you know what I mean? Because I watched a video where this guy had created an entire music video and a song and a backing track and vocals. All of it was AI. Everything was AI, and the beat and the song was banging. It was going hard.
Well, it doesn't matter, right? I mean,
I know, but
if you like the artwork, it doesn't matter what tool it was used to make the artwork.
It's
what
difficult.
Do you think, Jay?
Dude, it's difficult. And I think about somebody like yourself, and for me, you have so much more information on the music that you produce than I do on the music that you produce in the industry. But I would imagine just how it's affecting other industries, that either this has already happened or it's getting close, because there's a lot of good things that can come out of enhancing AI for music producers, to the point where consumers can become music producers, but also music producers that know music can use that tool to really rocket ship.
Amp it out. Yeah, amp it out. Yeah.
I think it's a good time to be observant, man, for real. Like, just it's one of those things that, I don't know, man. It kind of reminds me a little bit about early like Ethereum NFTs in like a funny way, because just the amount of people that were not using these models a month ago compared to now is staggering. And what they're going to be able to do using these models and tools in 5 months from now is more of the conversation that I'm thinking of, because as the models, they're already using it. So as they upgrade, or as the models get better, they'll just keep upgrading along with it. And we really don't know how, you know, effective these tools can be in weird places like music, for instance.
Mm-hmm. So to just direct the conversation a little bit, I want to find out more about you, brother, about you, JCrypto himself. Tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel. Tell me about why, and tell us all what kind of motivated you to get into YouTube to start. What did you do prior to YouTube? Have you always had a flair for the camera?
I think like if I need, like when I needed to. It's funny because you know, I was actually pretty shy as like a kindergartner, just like was shy enough to be noticeably shy though as a kindergartner, for people to be like, wow, there's something wrong with this kindergartner because he's so shy. So like that was kind of funny. But I think, you know, after a lot of just getting involved in stuff and just, you know, yada yada, as a child, I think I just became a little bit more outgoing. I don't think I ever pursued the camera. It was more, I found something that, you know, I could continue to learn about, I was interested in, and talk about. And I'm still kind of figuring it out, because if you talk to me, you know, 6 months ago, I might have sounded a little bit more like, you know, on, you know, like high on my own supply a little bit. But I think the reality is, man, you know, you go through those moments, and for me, at least, I always find I have to change things. It's a full-time thing. Because like news cycles change. Sometimes you don't get news. Sometimes you feel like creating. Sometimes you don't, but you gotta create. And there's all these different, you know, things. And you guys know the game, obviously. And I think you know, going back to what made me want to create the channel, it's the idea that there was the ability to just, you know, go on and use these dApps on this new alien architecture on the blockchain was probably what got me to do tutorial videos on my YouTube and started YouTube. I think before that, I was just researching and reading about the blockchain, but that's when I actively got a little bit more participatory, when, like, you know, Aave was around, learning how to, you know, yield farm, or what the heck it was, all that stuff. And since then, man, I've learned so much.
Well, you have a pretty big following on Twitter too, right? I mean, you do Twitter Spaces all the time. What is it, every Monday?
He does Metaverse Mondays.
Metaverse Monday.
I love that one. Yep.
Yeah.
And any other spaces you do, brother? I know you do more.
You know,
I think.
Dude, it's so meta that you guys asked me on to this show, because, man, I've hit like I've gotten like several collaborations in this week, like, and that was an intentional thing, because what I think I just was motivated to do, right? And this is literally how it happened. So I was just motivated to do a little bit of something that I didn't see a lot of going on right now, which is, you know, people aren't kind of collaborating in the YouTube scene as much. I've always loved collaborating, but the thing is, it is kind of like, you got to have somebody that's willing to contact people and get them on the show, because that's where you don't get guests, is when you stop like that process. So that is another thing to worry about week to week, as you guys probably know. And I think, you know, what's interesting though is like the collaborations, people love them more than when we do our own videos. And
they're fun.
They're fun.
They're
more
fun. You get to talk to somebody else besides talking to a mirror, or, you know, talking to a teleprompter, or just a lens. You know, that can get pretty tiring.
There's an element of randomness. You never know if Seven's going to come in on a unicycle in the middle of the show right now.
And a wig. Yep.
And a wig. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. He doesn't wear any wigs. He's bald as a bat. This guy right
bald
here.
As the bald eagle, baby. Yeah, no, you are right. You are right, Jay.
Well, anything could happen at any moment, and you know that is true. However, yeah, man, I don't know, dude. I'm just like what's really important here is for anybody that is maybe interested in content creation. I think one thing that I can share is like, you know, you just got to believe that you can do it, and then you just got to do it. And I really, I really don't see other ways that people succeed in this space. Like, I mean, I think you really just have to believe that you can do it, and then the rest will come from that belief.
There's so much on YouTube and even podcasting and or whatever, but you have a lot of people that have, millions and millions of views and all this stuff, and you're like, wow, they're so famous, I want to be just like that. But then you look back, and it was like 10 years for them to move up, and everybody's so impatient because of everything is so quick.
But nowadays the reason why people get impatient is because there's platforms like TikTok where if you have the right video, you can in a day you could be known worldwide, right? So I understand why people get impatient nowadays.
But that's shitty content, man.
Of course, yeah, I'm not a fan of that platform myself.
The TikTok, but it is shitty content. I will say that.
It's fun to look at. Don't get me wrong.
TikTok, you guys know what I mean. Like, it's addictive content.
Like, right, it is.
Right. So addictive.
Are amazing. Like, they make
there's some pretty good stuff. Some pretty good stuff on there, but it does make your attention span shorter. And I'm wondering, is the generation that's growing up with TikTok, is YouTube just going to be shorts in another 10 years?
Shorts is a big thing. Yep.
I think the interesting part was the reverse kind of happened with podcasts, though, because what we used to see, I guess, is, you had radio, and then you had live radio call-ins. But, if you wanted to listen to your favorite radio station anytime that you want, there wasn't really a platform for those episodes. So when podcasts came out, the long format exploded. And I think the long format is, something that people actually do seek, believe it or not. But it's not like the engagement levels that maybe the shorter content does receive on virality and just the, shareability, and the likelihood that somebody actually watches 3 seconds of a video posted 3 hours is a lot higher. The
problem is with video, it does take a lot of effort to make a good video. Well, a podcast, it does take effort, but it's a little bit smoother and not a lot of editing.
The shorts can take some effort too, man.
And it's
shorts
just audio.
Take a lot of effort.
It takes effort at a high level. I'm sure, and I think there's definitely higher levels, man. In fact, that was actually something we were talking about too, because when it does come to production value, some of the sometimes I just have like trouble on like an editing software, and I'll hit up the listening room or like one of those conglomerates or Crime Fighter, or like just musicians. And I think I know that guy. Yeah. I think I actually I wrote you a message, Se7en, like if you remember, months and months ago, about how loud the soundtrack should be. Do you actually remember?
Yeah, that? I remember something. Yeah, I remember a little bit about that. Yeah. We was looking at doing a track as well. Yeah.
So there was a little bit of just seeking out, because I liked how you were placing your audios and things. But yeah, man. So I don't know where I was going with that, but
that's all right. This show has no point. Yeah. we just try to interview people, and man, you can talk whatever you want to talk about. So
where do you see Jspeak going?
Yeah.
What's your overall vision? What do you want to do apart from, I want to have millions of subscribers, which is a given for everyone who's kind of, we would all love that. But the true art form, the true J, what's your vision, my man? What do you want to get out of all this?
Look, man, I think right now I'm very comfortable in my skin, and I like that. I'm in a humble. I'm living humbly, and I like that. I think it's a good place to be. I'm 20. I'm 24. So I figure at this point in my life, it's probably good if I can really develop the skills, right? And that's why I'm doing things like, I was telling you guys about something I was doing recently for the channel, but I've just been going, hard on developing. If I'm going to do something for like editing a video, I want it to be something that's going to force me to learn something new about editing, or like just another Lego that I can stack into the suite. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Seven. You're picking up.
I'm with you. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because you have to. That's how you optimize, right? You gotta you gotta kind of keep playing, adjust, and over time you just have so many chords that you can just rip out at a finger's notice.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, do you mind if we show your website? not your website, your YouTube channel? Can we put that up on screen?
Yeah, absolutely. No, go for it. I'll just sue you guys after. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
We don't have no money, so you can sue away, buddy.
So you have quite a few videos on here.
You post how often? You post once a day, once every 2 days, or is it just kind of like whatever's on your mind, you post whenever?
Well, that's where, again, man, it's so if you talk to me, 6 months ago when I had a really clean format going, the issue is I think there actually is a lot of content creators in Cardano, funny enough, because the audience size is it's not that big, and it's not that big because there isn't a huge audience in Cardano. It's because you already get to know all these people in the community. Like I know so many people, and I talk to them on Twitter Spaces, and I'll go to their space, they'll come to mine and stuff. So what I think is interesting as a YouTuber in these emerging markets is you really have a few options. One thing that you can do is, as things continue to innovate, that's a great opportunity because you can learn how things are innovating and be kind of the, relay of information or helper of that information. That's one angle. But I think, the whole idea of expanding outside of Cardano fundamentally makes sense because at the end of the day, you could still be part of the Cardano community, a D rep, even posting Cardano content on a regular basis. And, there could still be a lot of common sense to why you would want to post about other stuff so you don't lose your soul. If you, if you never talk about anything else, might not grow as quickly as the channels that specialize. That's the trade-off though,
Well, yeah, when you have a niche or niche, it's a very good thing to have in content creating. So if you drill it down from, I'm going to talk about cryptocurrencies to I'm just going to talk about Cardano, then
you are limited to that as well. Then you are limited to that, which is why I like he's changed his name to JSpeak, because now he can spread out get his fingers in more pies. Right. That's the right phrase. I don't know. I
mean, we've been doing a lot of interviews here with people in the crypto space, but our whole channel is crypto, music, and gaming. So eventually,
yes, that's it. So I mean, crypto, music, gaming, that's perfect. You guys can go that together.
Sorry, brother. Yeah, go on. I'm rude. Go on.
No. You guys can go that direction in so many ways too. It doesn't just have to be Web3, because gaming can be all sorts of gaming, and gaming is like when big stuff happens in the gaming world, everyone knows about it because there's people have kids, It just spreads like wildfire. So it's like culturally a relevant space, obviously.
Well, if you get any gamers in your Twitter space, just send them over to us because we'd like to interview them.
Yeah, actually that's the problem. You were talking about how the struggle is getting guests, and the problem is we only know crypto people. We don't know no gamers or other musicians. Actually, we do know some musicians within the Cardano space, so that could work. But
the gaming realm, I would like to get some big players on there, some Call of Duty people, or maybe some League of Legends, because League of Legends is pretty big, so.
Yeah, man. I think, Flawed is a guy that he beta tested. He's a big gamer. Shout out to Wizard of whatever his last thing is, Roz or whatever. He's part of the Cardania community. I think he played semi-pro Magic. There's like a few guys hanging around that just have been, have done beta tests for Blizzard or other gaming companies just in the ecosystem.
So you big into gaming? Are you big into gaming?
My
big gamer.
My older brother was, so I had that like secondhand experience. I don't think I am, because whenever I beat a game, I just, kind of sucks, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Big letdown. Anticlimactic. It's like, oh, all right, I'm done now. What do I do next?
Like Super Smash Bros, where you could like play with your friends, though.
Yeah.
Things like that. I think for me, like the Web3 prospect. Sorry, I was just laughing a little at that. But it's like the Web3 prospect of property in gaming is so big that you just can't ignore it. And I think like, it's one of those spaces that there's going to be a lot of opportunities that are probably no one even thinks they're opportunities. And then some opportunities that we all think are opportunities are going to crash. So it's chaotic. It's chaotic.
It's always those opportunities you're like, man, why didn't I think of that? Those are the good ones. When you're like, that's so simple. Why did I not think of that process or idea or gadget or whatever? It's.
Yeah. I was just watching something the other day and I had that thought. It was a toothbrush, but it was like, you just put it in your mouth and it's like, it looks like a mouth guard.
Oh yeah. Right.
It's just like, it just, I guess it just fuzzes around. Maybe it doesn't work as well as they say, but either way, that was an idea that I had when I was young and I didn't like brushing my teeth. I was like, man, it'd be cool if like I didn't have to do any work while brushing my teeth. So you're right. That does happen for sure. Tiny.
Well, in the future when AI and robotics get, they
do it for you.
Well, they'll wake you up in the morning and just jam a toothbrush in your mouth while you're in bed.
You can have a real life replica.
Where we're like, we don't want it to do everything for us and control it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we also have your Twitter here. I'm going to pull that up. Let me see. Where's Twitter? There we go. And so we're going to put all these links in the bottom. And you run you got quite a few followers there too. Yeah. You're going to run on Mondays you run, what was that again? 7?
Oh, right now it's 5:30 East to 7:30 East. We have some pretty cool guests on. It'd be we're gonna have to do some collaboration to I'll get you guys back on something, but it'd be fun to continue this as like a little thing, because this is what you need, man. If you don't have other content creators in the ecosystem that you can collab with, it can be tough, and tapping into that, it's important.
Well, there's a lot of that. I watch a ton of YouTube, and I watch like a lot of bigger names that I like Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat, all those the big names in like the photographic and videography field, because that's what I like. And they started collaborating, and then they start blowing up even more, because that's what a collaboration is. You find somebody that you like and you want to continue with them, and it's always a good thing, I think.
Need to get you on a track, Jay. Got to get you doing a little rapping, and we can collab like that. There you go.
Dude.
He didn't ask me. He didn't ask me.
Yeah.
I have a lisp, and he doesn't want no lisp. He's like, I can't.
Yeah, but every time you get up to the mic, your teeth fall out, man. We're not trying to deal with that. That's
if I had fake teeth, I'd have better ones than these.
Be at the end. Yeah, the teeth. When the teeth hit the ground, it can give the final, down.
Not a mic drop, but a teeth drop, and I'm out.
But Stein, can you explain to me a little bit about what you do and your background too? Because I think I met Se7en after I covered one of his songs, in a video, and I think I reached out to him.
That was cool, by the way.
Dude, I mean, your song was really good, and maybe. So yeah, I mean, like just
my back. I don't really have a background. I used to work for the CIA. Now I just do this. I'm retired, and I'm with the Corn Mafia Guild, which is in Cornucopias, and I got that's where I met Se7en, and so I always wanted to do a podcast. I used to be a chef for years, and I started to do like my own memoirs. That's why I bought a mic and all that stuff. And then I thought I might have wanted to do a podcast, but to do a podcast by myself and just me talking about cooking didn't go over very well. I produced like 3 shows and I was like, this blows. this blows. Nobody's going to listen to this. So I just put it on the back burner. And then when I met Se7en, we talked about a podcast because he was trying to do interviews in the beginning, and he did a couple interviews, and I really enjoyed those. And that's where I said, let's collaborate together, and it'll be easier for us to talk with another guest than it is to do it by ourselves.
Well, I mean, I remember reaching out to Jay actually to get him on my show that I was doing ages ago. But then I think I did 3 shows, and I was like, I just thought to myself, I get bored very easily with things. Yeah, you was gonna be my 4th, but I get bored so easy with things. I struggle to keep my excitement about something. But and then Stein came along. This has actually been a lot more fun. And like you say, it's more fun when you do it like you said, Jay, when you can collab with people. It's a lot more fun when you have no production that he has to do. He just has to show up. Yeah, you commented on this whole setup. This is all Stein. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you each bring a huge amount of value to the table, and you're supporting each other. And I think finding people that you work well together is not supposed to be a short process, right? And I've been like you guys, where I've stumbled into it. Like me and Subcritical do a lot of work, and I don't know what it is, but we just work well together. Like you know what I mean. Sometimes you just personalities just gel. And I think, those moments where you find somebody that's a content creator doing what you do that also, vibes with your style of things. That's like what a startup looks like, except in media world.
Right.
So,
Well, go ahead.
Hush your mouth. I'm busy.
Man, I just want to talk. That's all.
Good. One of the things that keeps sticking in my head, what you said earlier, was about how you have to just stick at it. You have to just, if it's something you want to do, just stick at it. Because for me personally, being a musician, I keep sitting there thinking, Bill Burr. You heard of Bill Burr?
Yeah,
the comedian. Yeah, I was watching a video where he said something like, when you start out, and if you're okay, you're decent, whatever, you're killing it to the abyss. So you're not getting a lot of viewers, you're not getting a lot of people see your stuff, but you're killing it to those people that are seeing it. It's just that that cloud that's in the middle. But that cloud will dissipate the more work you do and the harder you push into your craft. What you said earlier kind of stuck with me with that. And then every now and then I talk to friends about it, and they say the same. They say, hey, just keep at it, because something will come from it, and
yeah. Dude, no, like it's so practical, but yeah, like just there's other mixtures in there. You hear guys like Gary Vee articulate it really well. There's talent. There's talent, that's an important thing. Obviously Se7en, you're an incredible singer. I think, somebody that does a lot of speaking, you should be able to speak and have the endurance to, and know how to do that and stuff. So I feel like I have that ability to go for a while and stay on point. But after that, man, after that little tiny grizzle of fat at whatever you got from the get, dude, you just got to kind of like believe in yourself, because nobody that's fundamental. So that needs to be there. Like, I feel like,
yeah. Did you ever
happen?
Did you ever have times where you were like, in the lead up to where you are now, did you ever say to yourself, man, I just don't know about this. I don't know if I can, the lack of sleep, the hard work I'm putting in, and it's just not getting out what I put in. Did you ever reach that kind of point?
It was for YouTubing, other parts of my life, sure, other things. But I think this particular journey, what's been cool about it, right, is there's never really been a sense of kind of giving up. But I try to see things through usually until until it's like a bloody disaster sometimes. So I'll be the last guy on the ship. But I do think that allows me to just learn so much, because you put yourself on the ship, you got to figure out, how to keep it afloat. And, so I think it's tough to, answer that one, but I don't know, man. Dude, there's been so many times I've doubted myself, or like I've just kind of not known what to do next is really an important maybe thing for me to put out there as much as I can, because it happens all the time. I mean, dude, you do a few videos that do really well, and you look at the format, and maybe you try to gleam at the kind of content that you're covering, and maybe you replicate it and it doesn't do as well. And you're like, oh, I thought I found it. But you never find it because it's always changing. So, yeah, man. And I don't know, dude. But what do you think, man? Because like my thinking is, people do need sometimes time to try different things, and a lot of times we don't have the opportunity to have that time, or like we have to go out of our way to make it, and it's it's just interesting. And if you do have that opportunity, that's incredible, and it's still an uphill battle because you still have a lot of work to do. But yeah, when it does, what do you?
Yeah, you are right. It's just like you said, it's believing in yourself. It's saying that, because what's that? I heard from somebody. The voice in your head that's telling you no. If that was somebody in your house that was living in your house, and they kept telling you, "Hey, you're terrible. You're awful. You can't do this. You're never going to succeed. You're blah blah blah," you would kick that person out your house in a second. You wouldn't have them there. You wouldn't accept any kind of verbal attacks like that. But you do it to yourself. I do it to myself. Moments of doubt all the time. So it's hard to keep going sometimes, because you want success so fast, like we were talking about earlier, because you do see people blowing up on TikTok. You do see people blowing up, and it just is what it is. But
man, they got it made, bro. They got it made. They just had to master, doing the nay and a few other moves, a few years back.
Stanky leg.
Yeah,
stanky leg.
I mean, most of those stories, though, if you listen to those kids, I mean, they were getting bullied and harassed for being on TikTok in the first place. So they were being made fun of, while grinding to try to post themselves dancing in a weird way that does make them famous. So, I mean, there's adversity at every level, I guess, right? It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, Jay, we want to thank you for coming on the show today. Our time is up, and I know you're a very busy person.
We don't want to keep you,
we'd like to have you come back.
I've had so much fun.
Dude, I don't have that much more today, but I just want to thank you guys. And I hope that I was a good guest, and I hope we do this again.
Absolutely. Just hang out in the green room while we do our outro, and, we'd like to talk to you a little bit after the show, if that's possible.
Absolutely. No, you guys are the best, and I'm really rooting for this duo. I'm excited to stay tuned to see what kind of guests you guys get too. I like the dynamic that you guys have.
Thank you so much.
We got a couple good guests coming up. So.
All right. Take care, man. Thank you so much. Have a great day, buddy.
Is that Lily?
That was awesome, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun. I've never actually had a chance to speak to him like this before. We've only ever texted each other. But because I love his energy on his YouTube videos. I love his energy in his spaces. So it was really nice to get to know a little bit more about him.
I pop into his spaces on Mondays. So that's how
I felt bad
I knew
because
about his spaces.
I was in his space the other day. I was getting ready in the morning.
But you're not important enough for him to bring you up.
No, but he did. He sent me an invite, and I was like, oh crap, I'm so busy.
He sent you an invite, but he doesn't want you to talk.
Doesn't really want me on there. He
just wants you to hang out. Right?
You're so mean, Stein.
You raise your hand, and he's like, this guy here.
I forgot I actually did raise it. Nah, man, but it was good fun. It was good fun today, and hopefully the folks enjoyed JCrypto. I know I did.
Yeah, man. I thought he was a wonderful guest, and the head of hair, man. I'm jealous. I used to be young with a beautiful thick head of hair, man.
About that. That's just it saddens me. It saddens me.
Let's see your hair here. Well, hey, I just want to let everybody know that all of Jay's information will be down in the links, as always. We do also have our own Patreon page, so if anybody would like to help out a little bit with the show, we'd appreciate it. And we do also have affiliate links to all the gear that we use to produce the show. And if you want to purchase something through Amazon, just click on a link and purchase something through Amazon, and we'll still get a little kickback. Doesn't cost anything to you. Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. If you want any private deal,
if you want any private knee pictures, just message Stein, and we'll sort that out.
No more knees.
No more. Okay.
No.
All right.
But I'm gonna play the outro because I want to get back to talking with Jay a little bit on the end here.
All right. Let's get cracking.
Hey, I'll see you next week, man.
I'll see you, buddy.
All right. Bye.
I see what you did there.